You moved to Bangkok because you ran out of believable excuses to stay where you were. Back home, you had a job title that sounded adult but paid like a hobby. A friend group that slowly turned into a group chat of memes and cancellations. And a family that asked what your 5-year plan was, like they were collecting rent on your anxiety. So you did what every drifting 20-something with a phone and a dream does. You romanticized a country you'd never lived in based entirely on night market reels, rooftop pool montages, and a 20-second clip of someone riding a scooter through neon streets with chill beats playing like the city itself was an aesthetic. You watched videos titled "Bangkok Changed My Life" and believed them the way people believe horoscopes when they're desperate. You told yourself it would be cheaper, warmer, lighter. Like you could just switch locations and your brain would follow the new weather. You buy a one-way ticket to Suvarnabhumi with $1,200 in your account, a laptop that overheats when you open 3 tabs, a tourist visa, and the kind of confidence only possible when you don't understand what the visa actually covers. The plan is simple. Get a tiny apartment, work online, learn Thai, find peace. 4 goals, 0 deadlines, 1 suitcase, and a very shaky understanding of humidity. Welcome to Bangkok, a city that smells like grilled meat, exhaust, incense, and ambition at the exact same time. Population over 10 million. Number of people who care that you just arrived, still 0. Your first night you stay near Khaosan Road because the internet told you that's where foreigners go first. It's loud in a way that feels like the street itself has a pulse. There's music from 3 different directions. Someone is selling pad thai at 2 a.m. Like time doesn't exist here. Someone else is selling friendship bracelets like they're a legal requirement. You lie in a thin guest house bed under an air conditioner that sounds like it's chewing rocks. You sweat anyway. You stare at the ceiling and tell yourself this is what freedom feels like. By day 2, you learn Bangkok has 2 versions. The one in the videos, and the one where you have to actually figure things out. You open apartment listings and realize the cheapest condos are either a lie, a scam, or located in a parallel dimension called 90 minutes from anywhere. Most places want 2 months deposit plus first month rent. Some want a passport copy, a work permit, a Thai phone number, and a soul. Some refuse foreigners politely. Some refuse foreigners without even pretending. You message 20 listings. You get 7 replies. 3 of them are clearly bots. 2 of them ask for a deposit before you've seen the place. One of them is a guy with a profile photo of a luxury car and a caption that just says "serious only." You take the BTS for the first time and immediately understand why people talk about it like it's a lifeline. It's cold. It's clean. It runs above the chaos like a calm thought floating over a panic attack. You find a studio in Annut because the expat forums call it convenient, which is code for you can still afford food after rent. The building is tall and modern in photos. In real life it looks tired, like it's been smiling for tourists all day. The room is a box, a bed, a tiny kitchenette, a balcony that faces another building so close you can see your neighbor's shampoo brand. The bathroom is a wet room where the shower and toilet share the same destiny. The rent is 12,000 baht a month, which sounds like nothing until you convert it into the money you left behind. And remember you are currently freelancing on Vibes. You sign anyway, because it's available, because it's yours, because you're tired of dragging a suitcase through heat that feels personal. You unpack your 1 suitcase. You eat a microwave toasty from 7-Eleven because it's cheap and somehow always hot in the middle in a way that defies physics. This is home now. Your work situation is a patchwork quilt made of promises. A US client who said they might need help with marketing. A couple of small gigs from strangers on the internet. And the backup plan you tell everyone with a confident smile. Teaching English. You land part-time hours at an English center with a name like Global Bright Success, which sounds like it was generated by someone who's never met a real person. You teach kids after school and adults at night. You smile a lot. You do the same introduction activity so many times you start hearing your own voice as a pre-recorded announcement. The pay looks fine on paper until you subtract rent, electric bills that climb like they're competing, BTS rides, SIM card top-ups, and the little daily expenses that sneak in like mosquitoes. After everything, you're living on a tight number that forces you to become a street food economist. You learn which stalls are good, which ones are safe, which ones will ruin your entire next day. You start eating pad krapao because it's fast, cheap, and tastes like a coping mechanism. You eat it so often the auntie at the stall doesn't ask what you want anymore. She just looks at you and starts cooking like your hunger is part of her routine. She doesn't know your name. She just knows your order. In Bangkok, that counts as being recognized. The loneliness hits around week 3. Not the dramatic kind where you cry in the rain with a cinematic soundtrack. The quiet kind. The kind that sits next to you on the BTS while everyone scrolls their own lives. The kind that follows you into your room at night when the city is still alive outside your window, but you're alone inside your box. You don't speak Thai well enough to be funny or charming. You can order food. You can say hello. You can say thank you. You can say sorry in advance. That's about it. Your co-workers are friendly, but they have lives built here. Families, partners, childhood friends they've never had to explain themselves to. They clock out and disappear like you're watching people slip into warm houses while you stand outside holding a coat you don't need. The other foreigners you meet split into 2 categories. The lifers who talk about visas the way veterans talk about wars, and the short-timers who treat you like a temporary character in their story. You spend evenings on your balcony listening to the city hum. Motorbikes, dogs, distant music. The occasional laugh that makes you feel like you're hearing a party through a wall you'll never get invited past. You scroll your phone. You see people back home moving forward in ways you can't measure. Engagement photos, promotions, babies, new kitchens. The time difference makes it worse. When you're free, they're asleep. When they're alive, you're working. You exist in a gap between 2 worlds, and neither one fully contains you. Then your neighbor changes everything. Her name is Pim. She's in her late 20s, works odd hours, and lives in the unit next to yours. You meet her in the hallway on a day you've already decided is a bad day. You're carrying a plastic bag of laundry like it weighs your entire mood. You do the awkward foreigner smile. You say "Zawasdi." You add a clumsy crap at the end because you've heard you're supposed to. It comes out wrong, but Pim doesn't flinch. She smiles like it's normal that you're here, like the building has always had a you in it. She says something in Thai. You blink. You do the universal gesture of, I have no idea what that was. She laughs, not cruelly, just warmly, like your confusion is a familiar shape. The next day, there's a small plastic container outside your door. Mango sticky rice. A note written in English so simple it's almost childlike. Welcome. You eat it standing over the sink because you still don't have a table, and it tastes like someone chose to be kind on purpose. Pim becomes your anchor in a city that keeps moving whether you're stable or not. She starts doing small things that shouldn't matter, but somehow do. Telling you which street to cross for better food. Pointing at the right platform when you're about to get on the wrong train. Teaching you Thai words in tiny pieces. Water, nam. Delicious, aroy. No spicy, my fet. Friend, Fuan. She says Fuan and points at you and then at herself, and something in your chest loosens like a knot you didn't realize you'd been tightening for weeks. Over the next months, Pim introduces you to a Bangkok you weren't getting through your screen. She takes you to a night market where the lights feel endless. She shows you how to order noodles without panic. She brings you to a tiny temple tucked between buildings, where the air smells like incense and quiet. You learn that community can exist without fluent language. You learn that laughter translates itself. You learn that loneliness isn't unique to foreigners. Pim tells you, in broken English and gestures, that she used to feel lonely too. That Bangkok can make you feel invisible even when you were born inside it. You start building something that almost feels like a life. You buy a cheap folding table, a floor cushion, a tiny fan that saves you from heat that doesn't negotiate. You put a plant on your balcony because you want something alive that depends on you. You name it Lek because you looked it up and it means small. And that's what you are here, a small life trying to become real. Your Thai improves enough to stop apologizing mid-sentence. You develop a routine, BTS in the morning, work in the afternoon, classes in the evening, street food, balcony, sleep. Pim knocks sometimes with leftovers from her mom's cooking. You trade her snacks from your country like they're artifacts. You sit on her floor with her and two of her friends, listening more than speaking, catching meaning through tone and eyes and the simple fact that you're included. Around 8 months in, you stop thinking of Bangkok as temporary, and that's when the city reminds you that you are. Your visa situation has been a background hum the whole time. You've done extensions, you've done paperwork, you've told yourself you'll figure it out properly soon. But soon has a way of arriving abruptly. You decide to enroll in a Thai language course to get an education visa because everyone says it's the clean way to stay. You pay the school. You get documents. You go to immigration at Chiang Watana, a place that feels like it was designed to test your patience as a qualification. You wait in lines. You sit in plastic chairs under fluorescent lights that make everyone look tired. You watch numbers change on screens like you're at a bureaucratic casino. When your turn comes, the officer flips through your papers without expression. Then he pauses. He asks questions. Where do you live? What do you do? Who do you work for? You answer carefully. Online work. Clients abroad. Some teaching hours. You say it casually because it is casual to you now. It's your routine. Your survival. The officer's face doesn't change, but the air does. He slides a document across the desk. Photos. Printouts. Screenshots. It's your condo building. Your floor. Your unit number highlighted. Someone filed a report claiming you're working illegally and running private classes from your apartment. The report includes details that make your stomach drop. Times you came home. Times you left. The nights you had Pim's friends over. The day you carried a whiteboard you borrowed from the school. You start explaining, but explanation isn't a currency here. They don't want your feelings, they want categories. Legal or illegal. Authorized or not. Stay or go. Your application is flagged for review. You're told to return in 2 weeks. You walk out into the heat feeling like the sidewalk is less solid than it was 10 minutes ago. You go back to your building and stand in the hallway between your door and Pim's door. You stare at her unit like it might answer you if you look long enough. Then you knock. Pim opens the door with the same smile she always has, the same easy warmth. You try to ask her gently if she knows anything about a report. You try to keep your voice calm because you don't want to accuse the one person who made this place feel human. Pim's smile fades, just slightly, like a curtain shifting. She doesn't deny it. She doesn't ask what you mean. She just exhales and steps back like she's been waiting for this moment to arrive. She tells you the truth in pieces because truth is heavy and she has to carry it slowly. Her cousin works with people who handle problems for money. Sometimes those problems are debt. Sometimes they're scams. Sometimes they're just survival with sharper edges. Pim says her cousin asked her to keep an eye out for foreigners who teach or work without the right papers. Not because Pim hates you, not because she wanted you gone, because her cousin pays her. She needed the money. Her mom is sick, she has expenses. Bangkok is expensive even when you're Thai. Especially when you're Thai. Pim admits she didn't think it would go this far. She thought it would be a warning, a scare, a way to make you pay someone to fix it. Because that's how the system works for people who live in the cracks of it. She says she's sorry like she means it and also like she can't undo it. And the worst part is you believe both. You go back into your unit and close the door. You sit on the floor and stare at the wall the same way you did on your first night in Bangkok. Except now the room has a table and a fan and a routine and 8 months of a life that is suddenly fragile. The review takes weeks. Your school sends letters. You gather documents. screenshots of payments, contracts, proof that your clients are abroad, evidence that you're not running a private academy out of a condo the size of a closet. But the system doesn't care about your intentions. It cares about clean lines. And your life here has always been drawn in pencil. You receive the decision in a plain envelope. Your stay is denied. You're given time to leave voluntarily. Voluntary, they call it. Like you're choosing to erase yourself. You pack the same suitcase you arrived with. It's heavier now, not just with Veishi, but with attachment. A Thai textbook full of notes. A little charm from a temple Pim took you to. A BTS card you've refilled so many times it feels like proof you belonged. You leave the table because you can't sell it fast enough. You leave the fan because it's cheap, and also because it feels wrong to take survival equipment out of a place that tried to swallow you. You water-lek the plant, and then you stop, because plants don't go through immigration. You place it on the balcony where the sun hits in the morning, and hope someone else will notice it exists. You eat one last plate of pad krapao from the auntie stall. She looks at you and says something you don't fully understand, but you catch one word: travel. You smile and nod like you're okay. Your last night you ride the BTS with no destination. You watch the city from above. The traffic like glowing veins, the rooftops, the signs, the river catching bits of light. You realize the strangest thing about Bangkok isn't the heat or the chaos or the way it can make you feel anonymous. It's that it let you build something anyway. It let you have mornings that felt like yours. It let you learn words that reshaped your mouth. It let you be known by a street food auntie and a neighbor, and a handful of moments that were real even if they ended badly. Then it reminded you that cities don't owe you a future. You take a taxi to the airport before sunrise. Bangkok is still half awake. Motorbikes whisper past. Vendors set up carts. The city prepares for another day without you, like it's done for millions of people before. At the gate, you look at your phone and see Pim's last message. A short one. Sorry. Take care. You don't reply, not because you hate her, because you don't know what language to put pain in. You land back home and everything is familiar in a way that feels unreal. The air is different. The pace is different. Your family picks you up and says they're glad you got it out of your system. They mean it kindly, but it lands like a label. To them, it was a chapter. To you, it was a life you built with your own hands in a place that never promised to hold it. Somewhere in Annut, your condo is already being cleaned, the sheets replaced, the key handed to someone else. The balcony plant left in the sun until someone decides it's just clutter. Pim will still walk the hallway. The auntie stall will still serve pad krapao. The BTS will still glide above the traffic like nothing ever happened. Because in a city this large, one foreigner leaving isn't a tragedy. It's just an empty unit number. That wraps it up for today. The story you just heard is fiction. But if you've ever lived alone in a country that wasn't built around you, you know the sharpest loneliness isn't always silence. It's the moment you realize the warmth you held on to was also someone else's strategy to survive. If this one hit different, drop a comment and tell me which moment stayed with you. I've got more POV stories like this coming, so subscribe so you don't miss the next one.